We're bringing you all of the live action in a little screen at the moment. It'll be bigger later on for our Parade of Champions. And the Barangas on screen, it looks like at the moment. Beautiful lineup there. We'll be bringing you results throughout the morning, or the afternoon, I should say. Well, the demand for sustainable practices has never been more critical. But what are the key indicators and who decides how we go about meeting them? It's something Georgia Patterson, a young lady and a Graham Acton Beef Connections mentee, has been exploring. Georgia, you join us now. Welcome to Beef. Why does there exist so much confusion around sustainability?
I think it's more a lack of understanding than confusion is probably how I'd explain it. I think it's a very complex topic. So there's a lot to understand, which I guess is what the path I've gone down with my project. So I think that's, it's involved at each part of the supply chain. So our supply chain is a complex one in itself, let alone understanding how sustainability influences it at each part.
Tell us about the project that you are exploring.
So I have developed a hypothesis with my mentor to further my understanding of sustainability and how it influences the beef supply chain as a starting point. So basically I've set out to understand what are the global drivers of sustainability and how they influence the beef industry. Second to that, how that's communicated to the beef producer on the ground, whether that is well understood and how that is engaged with.
How do you even start on a project of that magnitude?
With a lot of help from my mentor and the networks that we've been able to develop throughout the program, I guess the development of my hypothesis was the first step, and then from there I'm definitely still in a research phase of my project, but that's been the first step, is getting a really solid understanding of what the global drivers of sustainability are and then how that's influencing our beef industry here in Australia, how the producer is or isn't engaging with it. I guess it's come from my work in the industry with Black Box. So I work with beef producers every day who are, I guess, the heart and soul of our industry, and I've seen a huge variety of responses to sustainability from pure passion and people who are really engaging with it, to people who are actually quite, I guess, because of the complexity, it can be quite confronting and something that, they sort of steer clear of. So I think that's been a big part of what I've been working on, is unpacking the why, and then, understanding what resources are available and how we can make them easier for the beef producer to engage with. It's such an important part of our industry. It's not going away.
Georgia, we're currently watching the beautiful Barangas in the ring for our Parade of Champions. Tell us about the work you do at Black Box, but also what are your early findings in your research?
So Black Box is a cloud-based software system that analyses beef production data from right along the supply chain. So from your on-farm fertility data points, so preg test results, lactation status, to on-farm weights, we link that right along the supply chain. So to feedlot feedback and carcass performance data, and we're giving producers the visibility and ability to utilise that data that they often may not have ease of use of, and apply that back into their business decisions in a much easier way than what has ever been available to them before.
We've been reflecting on the late, great Graham Acton today through the Beef Connections program and so many other wonderful legacies around the grounds here. What are you personally taking from being part of the program as a mentee? And that winds up quite soon, doesn't it?
It does. So we celebrated at the lunch yesterday, which has really been such a big highlight during the week. The program itself I've taken so much from and highly recommend it to anyone looking at sort of that next step and another challenge in their career and their pathway through the industry. The benefits for me have been huge. So from a personal perspective, just getting a really clear vision of where I'm heading in the industry and where I can make an impact and start to really work on that pathway for me.
Georgia Patterson, we wish you all the very best in the future, and thank you for the work that you're doing for the industry. Congratulations on what you've achieved. We're going to go full frame now.